Liverpool 2, Bologna 0. Our second win in Champions League in 2 games, maximum 6 points. And how's this for a stat? Arne Slot has just become the first manager ever in Liverpool history to win 8 of his first 9 games in charge. That's pretty amazing when you consider the amazing history that we have had as a club. So well done to him. It was another clean sheet. We're racking these up now, these clean sheets, and it was on Alisson's birthday as well, his 32nd birthday. So he said after the game that was what he wanted for a prezi from the rest of the team, and well, it didn't really help him to be honest in a couple of moments. But as great as he is, he got a clean sheet. So there's 2 ways to look at this one. Was it a laboured 2-0 against an average team, or was it just a job well done? And I'm going with the latter, because we never really had to get out of a low gear against them. We started off great. We started off playing the type of football we all love to see. We went 1-0 up with an absolute unbelievably good team goal with Alexis McAllister right at the centre of it, and finishing it off after a truly world-class pass from Mo Salah. I'll talk a little bit more about Salah in a bit. That was after 11 minutes, and it looked like we were going to run all over them. They looked like a team that hasn't played in the Champions League for 60 years, which is what they are. But fair play to them. Once we allowed a bit of complacency to set in and thought it was too easy, they came and had a go, and they had a real go. I mean, in that first half, there was a 10-minute period where they took a free kick, and about 4 of them could have scored. One of them kicked it onto the other one, it went out of play. They hit the post, they had an offside goal disallowed, and they forced Alisson into saves, and they forced Alisson into saves in the second half too. So they were no mugs, but they never ever looked like they were truly going to hurt us, and it looked like even if they did, it would just be a bit of a wake-up call, and we'd just up it a gear or two and beat them. And as the game progressed, that's sort of the pattern it took. They ran out of ideas. We were able to make a few changes. Anyway, just going back a bit, we went in 1-0 at half time. Darwin Nunez had also scored a goal, and he'd run offside, and I want to talk a little bit more about him in a minute too. But anyway, it was 1-0 at half time. Gravenberch absolutely ran the show in that first half. He was superb. He did a pivot and turn in the first minute of the game that was absolutely quite spectacular, and he did a few of them throughout the game. His level of consistency is just quite phenomenal. Anyway, second half, we came out with a little bit more intent, but again we kind of laboured. We had many nearly moments, but we didn't have any real incision. We had loads of great build-up play. There was really loads of it involving the 3 midfielders, some of the stuff from Mo, and you know, there was some intricate passing in the final third, but we weren't able to finish it off. Normally when that's happening to us, who steps up? And once again, it's Mo Salah. And you know, kudos to Trent, who made a fantastic run to take defenders away, allowing Mo to cut in on that trademark move of his, which, to be honest, Bologna should have been. They were man marking through the game. So the last thing you want to do is let Mo Salah, 22 yards out, knock it onto his left foot with space, and they allowed it. And of course, it was curled into the top corner, and an absolute pearl of a finish, which is Mo Salah. I would say throughout the game there were a few truly top class moments, and they came from a couple of players, and I'll talk about them in the shout outs in a minute. I do want to talk about Darwin Nunez, and God, I would love to be able to get on one of these videos and talk in glowing terms about this was the game where it turned for him, and he was given such a chance today, you know, against a team that is 13th in Serie A, who, as I said, haven't played in this competition for decades, at Anfield in a night game, and he just didn't do it. He didn't do it. The goal I talked about earlier when he ran offside, it's so simple. Something that you should learn before you get anywhere near this level of the game. And Mo Salah's got the ball. He's between the two centre halves, so all he has to do is look along the line, and he's faster than them. He's in a better position than them. And the ball from Mo would have been perfect, because he ended up giving a perfect ball. But unfortunately, Darwin had ran offside by a yard and a half. And it's worrying. It's worrying that he just doesn't seem to learn that aspect of the game. The other thing that worried me as well, the second half kicked off, and within about 30 seconds of the second half kicking off, the ball was played long into Darwin's chest, and the obvious thing that he needs to do is just control that ball with his chest, shield that ball with his body, and look for runners or lay the ball off. He completely blows it. The ball bounces off his chest. He doesn't get his position right, doesn't get his body position right, and the defender just takes it off him with the minimum of fuss. You know, as a forward, you've got to score goals, but you've got to know when to run on and off sides, and you've got to be able to do hold-up play. And sadly, it was another game that just passed him by, and he was the first one to come off as a result. I'm sorry to go on about it, but it's frustrating for me because I so want to see him succeed. I'm not here slagging him off. I'm really just a bit devastated for him that it's just not going for him at all. And you know, Jota, who hadn't trained for a couple of days, replaced him. So anyway, let's get to the shout outs. First one, I've mentioned them already a little bit, but every single week, every single game, Ryan Gravenberch is standing out. And some of his moves in the midfield, how he turns with the ball and finds space and opens up the field in front of him, is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm trying to think who was the last player in that position who had that ability. We've had deep midfielders who are great at playing in front of them and are destroyers and are able to spray the ball around. But to advance the team the way he does, let me know in the comments. The second one is Birthday Boy, our goalkeeper. Yet another clean sheet for him, and he doesn't look like he's going to get beaten. He should have had a clean sheet the other day, only for a defensive error. But he's been absolutely flawless and brilliant, and everything again he did today. He makes saves look easy because he is always in the right position to make that save. You never see him having to fly across the goal, you know, tipping things over, because his anticipation and his ability to read the play is second to none. So well done, lad. Happy birthday. You did us proud yet again. The next one, and it's becoming a recurring theme, isn't it? Some of these shout outs, but Mo Salah. If Gravenberch was the player in midfield who had all of the top quality moments, well, the top quality moments in terms of the goal scoring efforts were Mo Salah. The ball into Allister was world class. The finish was world class. Yeah, he played another couple of passes that were too weak, didn't get the right strength on them, and he can be a little frustrating with them once in a while, but it doesn't matter because he's added yet another 2 goal involvements to his unbelievable record, and today he became the first Liverpool player to ever score in 5 consecutive Champions League games. What more can you say? He's already our highest Champions League goal scorer of all time. So, hey, management team, Arne Slot, the rest of you, get him signed. Get him signed, get Trent signed, and get Virgil signed, and get it done now, this week, okay? Last shout out goes to Slot. How can it not? 8 wins in 9 games. We've scored, apart from the one defeat, we've scored at least 2 goals in every single one of those games, and we've barely conceded a goal. And he has brought a discipline to that team that you can see. It's still not perfect yet. There's a long way to go with it, but you can see it taking shape. And there are reasons why no one's not even... They were scoring first against us last season. They're not scoring at all now. Barely giving up a goal. And it is that organisation and that discipline that he has drilled into this team. We all love Jurgen Klopp, and he's a legend, and I hope there's a statue for him. But I think when we brought a new manager in, he had to take all the best of Jurgen and say, right, how can we take that to the next level? That's what you always want to do with a manager. And I think what he's done is he said, look, we've got the goal scoring power in this team to bang in goals against anyone, which we're proving. You know, we're not conceding any, but we're banging in at least 2 or 3 goals a game. What he's done is saying we don't have to be gung-ho all the time and allow space at the back and allow teams to counter on us to score those goals. We can bide our time, we can wait, and when the moment comes, we will score them. But the rest of the time, they're not getting through us. And it's working absolutely fantastically well. So long may it continue. Let's hope we can make it 9 out of 10. At the weekend, it's yet another early kickoff. It's yet another early kickoff that's an away game, but at the same time, we can put pressure on everybody else by taking an even greater lead into the weekend by beating Crystal Palace. I'll see you after then. You never walk alone. Ta-ra.